This is Desert Homestead Prepping. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. It's a sad day for us. We went on vacation. We were gone for 2 weeks. Our wonderful neighbors just right next door were just so kind to take care of everything for us and keep the plants and the grass watered and to take care of the chickens. But unfortunately, some dogs from the neighborhood got into the chicken run and killed all the chickens, every last one of them. Just so sad. I mean, we felt just so much sadness, especially Abby, because she's just loved these chickens and would hold them and cuddle them and feed them and just love to see them walking around the yard. I think I might feel just as bad that the neighbors had to deal with it. I mean, they came over and they had to, clean it all up, and they dug a hole and buried them to take care of the mess. I feel bad that they had to deal with all that while we were gone. But you know what? It's just life. We thought we had this secured really well, but we found where the dogs had got in. So we're gonna have to address it. We don't think that it would have happened if we were here, because our dogs would have kept them away and we would have heard something. The neighbors are just so far away, they wouldn't have heard anything. So, if we were here, it wouldn't have happened. We'll just have to get some more chickens, and we'll have to reinforce the areas where the dogs got through. So we'll show you where they got in. As we know, the greenhouse has had this siding blowing off. So they got into the greenhouse here, but the walls over here, we pretty much had something in front of them all the way around. But right here, they had pushed a hole through the siding here. All the mats and everything we had, they pushed through the mats and then pushed through the wall there. And that's how they got in. For the time being, we have tons of junk pallets that we can use to line the walls. And that'll be really easy. Abby and Penny, they can do that while I'm working on the cabin, and we can make sure it's secure, and that way no dogs can get through these walls. The rest of it's just super secure. There's no way they're getting in here. So I think that'll be the plan. We'll get this all fortified, and we'll get some more chickens. We'll try again. What do you think of that? Okay, on to the next step for this cabin. So I feel like we're kind of behind schedule because we went on our vacation, but either way, we're back, and now it's time to get back to work. So the first step is I'm gonna run electrical. With that, we're also gonna run electrical to the cabin. So the way we've had the cabin set up is it's really been a temporary power supply. The cabin has been set up just like an RV. And I talked about that in some of my previous videos of how we have it set up. You can see the extension cord that runs through the door into here. It's got a 3-way plug. We plug in the voltage inverter that charges the batteries and supplies the 12 volt. And then there's 2 banks of 110 outlets on each side of the shipping container, or each side of the cabin, and each of those have a plug that plug into that 3-way. That's been fine, just for us to come out here, a week there, but that is not going to be sufficient for full-time power. We can't leave these extension cords just out here forever. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run 220 from the power pole back here. I'm gonna put in a 220 breaker gonna bury the power and run it over here to the corner of the cabin. There I'm gonna put in a breaker panel. We're gonna be able to have a breaker for one side of the cabin and another breaker for the other side of the cabin, and a breaker for the power that goes to the shed here, the shed cabin. So to do that, I'm gonna have to do some digging. You know, I wish I had a ditch witch or something that would make this go faster, but unfortunately I do not. So I'm gonna have to dig a trench all the way along here, and that's just the way it's gonna be. I have gone over this whole setup with multiple resources. I've looked up obviously videos on YouTube, but I also went over it with some electricians from work who are so kind to help me go over the details. So anyway, that's what we got to do. These extension cords just not going to work permanently. So I'm going to get going at digging a trench, and we'll get this all set up and ready. Look at what we got. Just be careful. This is our new addition to the homestead. My wife has named the cat already. So it's a male cat, tomcat. What's the name of this one?
Well, there's two names, so we don't know which one we're gonna give it yet until we get the other cat.
I think this one's gonna be named Selleck, for Tom Selleck, my wife. Yeah, we're gonna try to get this cat settled. It's gonna be an outdoor cat. We have so much of a problem with mice that we have to have a cat. We just can't deal with the traps and all that stuff. We gotta have some cats. And everybody says that having some outside cats makes a world of difference. So we do have another cat that we're going to pick up a little bit later on from another neighbor, actually from the people that brought in the gravel for Abby's little palace over there. So yep, they got a cat that we can have. Should be about the same age. So this is our other cat. This one is Sawyer. It's a male tomcat, so Tom Sawyer. This ground is so rocky. It's kicking my ass. Just grueling. But I think once I get another 10 feet, should get softer. But it's just the way it is. Just gotta keep pushing through it, inch by inch. Here we are, it's a couple days later. So I had to go to work for a couple days and back again. So let me show you where we're at on this ditch. I got it all the way from the power pole to right here, corner of the driveway, down as deep as I need to get it. And so from there, the line is just kind of scored to the shed cabin and then to the main cabin. So this isn't going to be too difficult to do the rest of this. This is softer ground, not like back there where I was really struggling with all the rocks. But I ran into a small setback. When I was at work, I started thinking through what I'm doing here and just wanted to make sure I wasn't forgetting any parts. And I came across a small hiccup that we need to overcome. So over here at the power pole, this is the plan. So my plan was to go off of this blank spot right here. I was going to put in 220 breaker, and from that I was going to run the cable to the sub panel on the cabin. But I realized underneath this panel is not an empty spot. This is where the main power comes into this large 200 amp breaker. So I'm gonna have to reassess. This smaller panel doesn't have the amperage I need to pull off of it, or the space. So, you know, I'm gonna have to upgrade this panel, this one on the bottom. So it's not gonna be too difficult. It just, you know, I'm out here and I don't have enough time to get the parts. I got the weekend off, this weekend off, so I want to really be focusing on projects, and there's plenty more that I can do, you know, besides just the electrical. So I don't want to waste my days off going to the hardware store and trying to find the parts that we need. So I do have it ironed out. I know what I need to get, so I'm just going to have to put this on hold for a couple days, and we'll focus on some other things on the little shed cabin. All right, so guess I'll have to move on to another project. Make sure you guys come back for the next video. Still plenty going on. You know, we definitely appreciate prayers from all you guys, suggestions, and your comments. So please keep them coming. Wish you the best. Take care.